Now you can probably tell from the thumbnail of this video that the first attempt to film this was actually made inside Anfield with the beautiful backdrop of the Kop behind me, but unfortunately it's so windy out there that the audio came out terribly, and so I'm having to film this press conference update from my car. But you are going to have to take my word for it that I've just been inside Anfield speaking to Jurgen Klopp ahead of Liverpool's meeting with Atalanta in the quarter-finals of the Europa League tomorrow evening, and plenty to get into in this press conference as per usual, and I always start with the team news. I think it's the most interesting thing, particularly as Liverpool's injury list is so lengthy and always has been really this season. Now, he was asked about the fact that Liverpool received a significant boost yesterday, didn't they, with the news that Diogo Jota, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Alisson, Becker and Stefan Bajcetic all returned to full training, not just partial team training as he had suggested last week, all back in full training. Now, of course, the question was asked of him today: what are you going to do with that information? Which of these players can play any part in tomorrow's game? And he kind of grouped them separately. He said of Jota, Trent and Alisson, Becker, obviously we didn't rush it with the boys. That means they did a lot of training by themselves, especially Diogo and Trent. We will have to see. So that to me suggests that Diogo Jota and Trent Alexander-Arnold have every chance of being a part of the squad on Thursday evening, which of course is a significant boost, not just for the Europa League and the chances here, but also the Premier League running as well. Some brilliant players that they're adding back into the squad. Maybe Alisson Becker not too far behind that. Could he be in goal for Sunday's meeting with Crystal Palace? We'll have to see. Now, they are going to take a slightly different route with Stefan Bajcetic. He revealed he's going to have a couple of games with the under-21s, or at least one game with the under-21s, so just keep building up his fitness. That makes sense if we're being honest about it, on the basis that he has missed so much football, hasn't he, in comparison to his teammates, done a lot less training as well. He's only appeared twice this season, so it makes sense for him to have a couple of games with the under-21s. He did train with them recently before he returned to first team training as well, so I think that should help him sort of get back into things. But as I say, all these players are either part of the squad tomorrow. I think Jota and Trent have got a great chance of being part of that. But if not, all four of them are going to be in the squad very, very soon, and a significant boost at this time of the season to get four players of that quality back. I mean, I know people don't like the phrase "like a new signing," but you have to say to get players of those quality back, it's an absolutely huge boost for Liverpool. Now, that wasn't the only thing he was asked about, of course. Lots of other talking points in this press conference, and one of them was about a protest that is planned for Thursday's game, and that is about the ticket price rises that have been planned by Liverpool ahead of the new season. Now, in case you haven't heard about those, the plan is for Liverpool to push up tickets for season ticket holders and members by 2% ahead of next season, and obviously fans have not taken warmly to that, and there have been protests planned ahead of tomorrow's game about that. The fan group Spine Kop 1906 have said that they will be withdrawing all flags from the Kop, so none of those great displays that we usually see before the match or during You'll Never Walk Alone. Those flags won't be there tomorrow in protest at this decision. Now, Klopp was, as usual, you expect he's great on things like this. He's not just a great talker about football, but about wider issues as well, and I thought he was really interesting on this. And he said about the possibility of the flags being withdrawn: as long as the people are there, it's all good, but I understand the concerns and the discussions, definitely. And he finished up by saying they will find a solution, I'm sure, which I think is encouraging, that he has put his voice behind. He's backed the supporters in the protest. He understands the concerns that they've got, and in really pushing the club's owners towards a solution, because he clearly wants it. And I think he was right to point out that the fans are massively important. Liverpool make a big thing of that, don't they? And the last thing they need when they've got so much at stake at the moment, in the Premier League and the Europa League still to play for, is to have protests ongoing or fans not being 100% giving everything to the team. Now, my personal view is that the fans are right to protest these increases. They're unnecessary when you consider the amount of broadcasting revenue that Liverpool make, and that money just keeps going up and up. They don't need to keep squeezing fans at this point, particularly as it's a drop in the ocean in comparison to what you talk about wage bill or anything like that. It doesn't really touch it, so it's almost not worth doing. And I think Klopp's right to kind of point out, and I think he's been helpful to fans there, in that it's important a solution is found as quickly as possible, because you need fans and team working together in synergy, the whole club working towards one goal. And what everybody wants at the moment is a perfect finish to Jurgen Klopp's reign as Liverpool manager, and a glorious finish to this season. So hopefully, with the manager getting on board there and supporting the protest and saying he understands the concerns and pushing for a solution, hopefully a solution is reached soon, and we don't have to see like tomorrow what we're expecting, which is no flags on the Kop, which it's not right on a European night, is it? To not see those flags displayed and that Liverpool heritage shown. So real shame that that's happening, but I thought, as I say, that Klopp spoke really well about that issue. Now, he was also asked about the opposition, as you would expect, and he was reminded actually of a Pep Guardiola quote where he said about playing Atalanta under Gasperini, it's kind of like a visit to the dentist. And I thought his response on this was quite funny in terms, he said, playing against us can be like going to the dentist, to be honest. That is kind of the idea. So his plan for tomorrow is to turn Anfield into a fortress, is to make it a cauldron for Atalanta to come into and make it basically a horrible 90 minutes for them. Not a game for them to enjoy. It's to come here really and find it extremely difficult against Liverpool. And to be honest, that's always the plan, isn't it, for European nights, is to make it as difficult as possible. But clearly he wants Atalanta to get that full experience, that dentist-like experience tomorrow. So interesting on that. Now, of course, when it's a European press conference, we also get a player, and Harvey Elliott was the one on the duties today, and he was asked about his role as a super sub. I spoke about that in my video, the post-match review at Old Trafford, speaking about how great he has been as a substitute this season, but also particularly at Old Trafford, thought he was outstanding. And he said he's grateful for the opportunities he's getting at the moment as a super sub, but he said, I'm not a kid anymore, I'm growing up quickly, and if it means knocking on the gaffer's door to get starts, then it's going to happen. So clearly he's absolutely chomping at the bit to start more games, doesn't want to just be known as a super sub, and I would say that he absolutely does deserve a start in this game. It's interesting, a lot of the time when they put a player up for the press conference, they tend to be someone who is going to start in this game, so I really hope that we do see Harvey Elliott rewarded for his recent form with a start in this game, because I think he's been flying recently off the bench, hasn't he? He's done everything he can to earn himself a start, so maybe this is a perfect opportunity to rotate some players and get Harvey Elliott in that starting lineup. Of course, it's not long until we find out whether he is in the starting lineup. I'm going to be back here tomorrow evening for my match review for the game from the Anfield press box, so looking forward to that. And as ever, between then, if you can like and subscribe, it's the best way to keep across all the content that's coming, all the games that are coming up, of course, and as I say, my post-match review from tomorrow, so make sure you don't miss that. And of course, as I say, I'll be back in the Anfield press box tomorrow, so I'll see you guys very soon.